A year after the New York Knicks made the playoffs for the first time since 2013, last year they were extremely underwhelming. The first month of this season, it didn't look like things were about to change as they were just 10-12 to start the season. Well, now things are a lot different, and this team, at least record-wise, is better than the team from 2 seasons ago. They even had a 9-game winning streak earlier this year. How did they turn things around? The effort should always be there as long as it's a Tom Thibodeau coached team, but the mindset, the togetherness, and the poise, that was not there last year. It definitely is now. When we look at just the stats, we'll see that Julius Randle is the leading scorer for the Knicks, as he's averaging a career high on the best efficiency he's ever shot on. Right behind him is Jalen Brunson, though. If you ask me, from watching Knicks games, Jalen Brunson is the real leader of the Knicks. Not to take anything away from Randle, as he's had a very nice redemption season after his most improved player season a couple seasons ago was looking like a fluke last year. In fact, I'd like to take this time to apologize to Julius Randle for thinking that he could not replicate what he did 2 seasons ago.
Flashback.
Last year's most improved player, Julius Randle, has not been anything close to what he was last year. His first few years in the league as a 7th overall pick for the Lakers, he showed flashes of potential but never really became what was expected out of him as a 7th overall pick.
End of flashback.
However, I think more often than not, the Knicks go as Jalen Brunson goes because he takes playmaking pressure off of Julius Randle. Although Julius Randle has improved his poise, I still think that Brunson has better poise, and also Brunson is more efficient. And also a lot of the times it's Jalen Brunson that's closing out games for the Knicks. It's more than just Jalen Brunson's presence though. Cutting the rotation from 10 guys to 9 guys, the addition of Josh Hart at the trade deadline, and also other guys like Immanuel Quickley and Quentin really stepping up their play from last season are all factors, but I want to talk about Jalen Brunson first. Jalen Brunson did miss 5 out of the last 6 games for the Knicks before the Knicks just beat the Denver Nuggets, and the Knicks were 3-2 without him. Although they won more than they lost without Jalen Brunson, I do think that Brunson's absence was definitely missed. The Knicks are 37-26 with Jalen Brunson and 5-4 without him. Now seeing how much better the Knicks have been this season, to me he was really their missing piece, and it also does look like the Mavericks are really missing him, as last year they were in the conference finals. Now they're only 1 game above 500. Brunson has to be the free agent signing of the year in my opinion. Brunson has also drastically improved his 3-point shooting from the year before, although his field goal percentage is a little bit down, but that's from getting more shots as he's playing more minutes now since he's not playing alongside Luka Doncic anymore. Brunson's field goal percentage isn't even down by that much at all, while his scoring has drastically gone up. At the very least, Jalen Brunson has to be in the discussion for most improved player. What's so easy to forget about the 2020-21 season, and I almost forgot about this myself, is the fact that the Knicks were only the 9th seed when they acquired Derrick Rose from the Pistons, and they made it all the way up to the 4th seed. Now with an all-star caliber point guard in Jalen Brunson, as opposed to last year with a washed up Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose being hurt, life has been so much easier for the whole team, and it definitely has been for Julius Randle, because Julius Randle no longer has to be the primary playmaker, which he had to be the last 2 seasons, especially last season. The year before, yes, there was a healthy Derrick Rose, but he came off the bench, and Elfrid Payton, who was the starting point guard for the Knicks, was definitely not a playmaker and was a total liability on offense. If Jalen Brunson doesn't get any All-NBA votes this year, I'm shocked, as he was definitely an all-star snub, but at the same time, the Knicks not being a top seed is why they didn't get 2 all-stars. Still though, Jalen Brunson is undeniably the best Knicks point guard in a very long time, probably their best since the great Walt Clyde Frazier. The Knicks have had some good point guards since then, like Ray Williams, Mark Jackson, Derek Harper, even Stephon Marbury for a little bit, but since Walt Clyde Frazier, I think it's safe to say that Jalen Brunson is their best one. You can tell me in the comments what you think though. I want to get back to Julius Randle though, and how he's had such a nice bounce back season. Yes, Brunson's presence has really helped him, and those 2 losses where Brunson was out, Randle really struggled. We should also mention a talk that Randle has had with associate head coach Johnny Bryant that helped him change his mindset. Mindset is extremely important in sports, not just the physical gifts, but I'll leave you with this right here.
I mean, one of the biggest things was he was like, just talking about the year before, and he said something that was like along the lines of like if you were your teammate and saw you acting the way that you did sometimes, a body language, showing frustration, whatever it was, would you want to be your teammate? And I was like, no, so I kind of had to look myself in the mirror and take accountability and get better and learn from it.
I was very critical of Julius Randle's mindset last year, and I know I wasn't alone on that at all, but the fact that I was very critical of it and the fact that he's changed his mindset, I do have to applaud him for that. He may still have his emotionally weak moments here and there, and one of them came in a loss against the Clippers where he got a technical foul that gave the Clippers a ton of momentum, but Randle at least recognized after being told to watch his body language that last year he was not a good teammate and he needed to change. That's really good of him to not talk back to Johnny Bryant and realize that he needed to be better. I certainly never questioned his work ethic, but just how he was too emotional and how he didn't handle himself very well, that's something that I was very critical of him for last year, and he's definitely done better this year, so great job for Julius Randle to be able to change his mindset. You know what else I have to give Julius Randle props for is, since anyone who knows me knows I despise load management, Randle has played every single game so far while playing 36 minutes per game. So great job by Julius Randle to be able to show up for every game. They say availability can be your best ability, and Julius Randle and Isaiah Hartenstein are the two Knicks that have played every single game this season. So once again, Julius Randle, I'm sorry I said that your breakout season 2 seasons ago was a fluke. Now let's just please not make me take that back when it comes playoff time, because I did not forget how terrible you were against the Hawks. For now though, great job at redeeming yourself. Just get the job done in the playoffs too. As of today, the Knicks are the 5th seed in the East, and they'd be 4th in the West right now, actually, assuming that they'd have the same record with a decent gap between them and the Suns, while not that far behind the Grizzlies. I do also think, as mentioned earlier in this video, that other Knicks deserve some praise too. I'll start with Immanuel Quickley for improving his decision making and has really brought some defensive intensity. He has earned Tom Thibodeau's trust to play more minutes than he ever has in his career, and he's putting up career highs all across the board. Immanuel Quickley, to me, definitely has to be in the discussion for 6th man of the year. Josh Hart, a mid-season addition for this team. I've always really liked Josh Hart, and it's weird to me that he's never played a playoff game. As a 3-and-D presence and a guy who plays hard, he takes charges, and he's also always been a very good rebounder since his days at Villanova. And right now he's averaging almost 8 rebounds per game. I know a lot of rebounds in today's game go uncontested, and that's something that definitely does bother me about today's game. But I also don't want any of my viewers to think that I think 100% of today's rebounds are uncontested, and Josh Hart has definitely earned a good portion of his rebounds. I think he's the kind of role player that any team would love to have, and the effort that he plays with consistently is something that Tom Thibodeau lusts for. Well, any coach should, but that's one thing Tom Thibodeau is known for, getting guys to play hard. But Josh Hart is a guy who's always been the kind of role player who does the dirty work. I'm sure those of you who are really into college hoops, and hope your bracket's not looking too bad, by the way, if you are, remember that he and Jalen Brunson were on that 2016 national championship team together, so they've already had some chemistry together before they even played a single NBA game together. And I'm sure plenty of people have seen Jalen Brunson's reaction when he found out that the Knicks are acquiring Josh Hart. I also want to mention Isaiah Hartenstein. He definitely could do a better job finishing at the rim, and I think only shooting 51% from the field shows for that. I think a center should be shooting a better percentage than that. However, he's another guy that plays hard, and the Knicks are currently 2nd in offensive rebounds, and Isaiah Hartenstein is leading the team in that category, while, like I said earlier, playing every single game. There's also Quentin Grimes and Mitchell Robinson, who've brought plenty of stability to the Knicks defense. Mitchell Robinson has always been a nice rim protector ever since he entered the league, and has been a big reason, along with Julius Randle and Isaiah Hartenstein, for why the Knicks are one of the better rebounding teams in the league. But Quentin Grimes has really been a
Diamond in the rough.
this season. Last year he played 46 games and started 6. Didn't really have much of an impact, but this year he's become a really solid 3-and-D piece for the Knicks. Quentin Grimes is a guy who you can always expect to grind out every game, and that's a big reason why he's earned the minutes he's gotten from Tom Thibodeau, because he plays hard every game. Lastly, before I close this out, I want to mention RJ Barrett, who did drive Knicks fans crazy earlier in the season. Well, he's definitely had a better second half than the first half, and in the month of March he has really played some of his best basketball yet. I think early on he tried to do too much, but now he's really starting to settle down. In fact, he's only taken 13 shots in each of the last 2 games, and he's 16 for 26 in those last 2 games. When he did take 27 shots against the Lakers though, he dropped 30. So that's where I'll wrap up this video. Please let me know how far you think the Knicks can go in the comments. Do you think they can win their first playoff series in 10 years? Or if you want to really push it, do you think they can make their first conference finals in 23 years? If you enjoyed this video and you want more people to see it, dropping a like would really help out. And if you are new and want to consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss another video, your support is much appreciated. Links to my social media are down below. Here are 2 videos up above. I'm sure you'll enjoy one or the other. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.